A spirited comedian, a flamboyant tycoon, an efficient technocrat, and a reassuring politician. These are the choices facing Italians when they go to the polls this weekend. What will be the outcome of one of the hardest to predict elections in living memory? And what will be the consequences for the eurozone? Discussing this with me today is Paola Subacchi, a research director at Chatham House. Paola, there's been much talk of a possible comeback by Silvio Berlusconi, the man who's dominated Italian politics over the last 2 decades. Do you think this is probable?
Well, it's possible, but it's not highly probable for a number of reasons, and particularly because he will need some alliance in the parliament, and at the moment it looks pretty unlikely that any of the other groups will tie with him.
Right. So one of the baseline scenario, which I think markets are working with, is a government by the centre-left Democrats, possibly in alliance with the centrist group around Mario Monti, the current Prime Minister. What are the challenges for this government?
The big challenge is to continue the consolidation of the public finances and the maintenance of the keeping up the commitments that the Monti government signed for. So that means continuing the sort of reduction of public spending and the deficit, and an increase in the primary surplus, which means eventually starting to reduce the public debt. So this is a big challenge because the economy is not growing. Actually, we will have another year of recession.
So what do you expect a coalition government, let's say, between the Democrats and Monti to get done? Investors are worried about a stalemate which will not solve any of these problems which you've outlined. Is this a risk?
At the moment, it's really difficult to make a prediction, and the only prediction we can make is actually based on the goodwill of the two groups and the leaders of the two groups. Both Bersani and Monti, I believe, feel very strongly about the country, and they have a sense of responsibility. So that should really make things easier, even if the outcome of the election will not give a straightforward, black and white situation.
And what about structural reforms? There is a lot of talk of that Italy needs structural reforms. The Monti government has done some, but many analysts say that that wasn't enough. Labour market reform watered down at the last moment. So do you expect this government to do much in that respect?
Well, actually, any government, again, will need to tackle the structural situation of Italy. And again, it's a paradox somehow that Italy is the country which actually didn't do so badly throughout the financial crisis, but actually he got incredibly down the hill in terms of growth, employment, job creations, and so on. So again, there are some structural problems which overlap with the cycle and the cyclical situation. And so these need to be tackled, and this needed to be tackled 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and now more than ever. So basically, in somehow, this is almost the last chance. Is that now time for Italy and for any government to really go through this situation, try to figure out why Italy has had such an anemic growth over the years.
And how will this election play into the wider eurozone dynamics, do you think? I mean, Italy is the third largest economy in the eurozone.
It is absolutely fundamental. And it is fundamental because, back to your first question, if we go back to a Berlusconi government, that means the other partners in Europe will probably withdraw their credibility, their trust and confidence in Italy. So it is very important, again, to have a credible government with a long-term view and with the respect of the rest of Europe.
Thank you very much, Paola, for being with us today, and thank you.